I'm Charles. I'm 55 years old. I'm 6'1" when I'm fully assembled, and I weigh about 230 pounds the last time I got weighed in at the doctor's office. Today I'm going to talk about learning balance, initially learning my balance on two prosthetic legs. I'm in a peculiar situation, whereas I'm a below the knee amputation on my right leg, above the knee on my left leg, and these were done several years apart, so I was not trained in rehab the way most double amputees would have been trained. Actually, I only got 2 hours of rehab total once I had the above the knee amputation going. So a lot of this stuff I've kind of figured out by myself based on just a little bit of what they taught me in a couple hours of rehab. Okay, one of the things I like to do is I like to work at the cabinets, because mainly they did give me a bunch of exercises in my 2 hours to do, you know, standing on a tennis ball, all that other kind of stuff. It's annoying, it's not practical, and it's easy to forget to do it, and then once you forget to do it, it's easy to neglect it. I like to do practical things, and this is a practical thing. So, what I do, which is practical to help learn my balance, is I would go ahead and come up to the sink. And I'd stand up at the sink. Most of the time I'd pull my wheelchair straight in and just stand up. But as I got better at it, I'd have to pull my wheelchair to the side because I learned to move sideways. But of course, being able to stand up at the sink is a very practical thing, and it's easy. I can practice standing up, learning my balance, and if I feel uncomfortable, it's easy to grab a hold of something very solid with a good grip, even better than just the edge of the countertops. And to me, it felt a lot better than trying to do this with a walker, which is something I'm learning to walk with. So as I was doing this, I just practiced balancing like this, not doing much, and then I got to where I could wash my hands at the sink, and I could stay balanced. And if I wasn't balanced, when I first started, I would stand up close enough to the sink that I could just lean into it and prop myself up, keep myself from falling over if I need to. And then I could catch my balance again, either grab a hold of something or just pull myself back. But that's the way I started learning the balance. And as I felt more comfortable with that, I would just practice, because it's practical, moving from here to here, and keep my balance, working up on the cabinets. I can get stuff in and out of the cabinets, and I can do that without holding on to anything, practice keeping my balance. One thing I want to mention, especially when it comes to when you're first starting, cabinets, overhead cabinets are not designed to hold all that junk that they have and another eighth of a ton. If I was to fall, it would be better off for me if I was just to fall. I do not want to grab a hold of one of these cabinets, because I have actually seen, I haven't done it myself, but I have seen the results of these cabinets pulling away from the wall. So there would be a good chance, if this did pull away from the wall, no matter what your size is, that there would be some serious injuries involved. So I don't want to hold on to this to support myself. Every now and again I might reach up for balance. But back to learning balance. So I move over to this section here. This is where I usually prep food when I'm cooking, things of that nature. And after I felt more comfortable, I got to be where I started cutting vegetables here. A lot of times I'd be holding on with one hand and using the knife. You definitely have to start feeling comfortable with it, but it's practical, and it's a good reason to learn to balance, and that's one of the reasons why I think it worked well for me. So I got to the point where I was feeling comfortable, where, you know, most of the time I could cut vegetables and stuff like that, whatever it was I was working on, and eventually I felt comfortable that I could come over here to the stove and work on the stove. Because of course you definitely want to have decent balance once you get to this point. All kinds of hot things, all kinds of dangerous things. Once again, if you fall, you don't want to grab a hold of anything on here. You don't want to grab a hold of the stove, you don't want to grab a hold of the pot, you don't want to grab a hold of the cabinet, you don't want to grab a hold of any of this stuff. But as I've always tried to do, is I always try to show practical things to help get along and to move ahead in the progress of learning to walk, learning to stand, learning to balance, learning the things in the wheelchair. So hopefully that was helpful for you.